How's it going? So it's me again, Felipe, with the Social Buddha Method, and as usual, I have my brother here, Angelo, joining me for this live cast. And today we are going to talk about something that I've been asking a lot of you on Facebook, which is what are the things that you want to hear us talk about more, which is confidence, self-esteem, dating, socializing, and those sort of things that we really love to talk about. And so we are going to dive a little bit into kind of an intro course into the boosting your confidence, your self-esteem, and improving your dating experiences and your social skills. So thanks for being here, Angelo.
No problem. I'm excited to be here. Like always, it's awesome to be here, and let's get started.
So today we are going to talk about 9 tips to boost your confidence, your self-esteem. Yeah, there you go. 9 tips. And we are gonna kind of show you a little bit of some methods that we used ourselves to get to a point where we have a specific type of mindset when we show up to a social event, when we show up to perhaps in the past when we've gone out on dates or met women or that kind of stuff, whether you're a woman that is wanting to get into the dating stuff or a guy that's trying to meet more women. We'll tell you a little bit about our experience and how these 9 tips relate to this. So we're going to get started. The first thing, if you can hear me, again, as always, put a heart or a like, one of those things. And if you have any questions, comment below. There you go. Comment
That's a
below
heart right
in
there.
the comments. And so, yeah, let's get started. So the first thing we want to talk about is about learning about yourself. So Angelo, can you tell us a little bit about why getting to know yourself is so important?
Yes, of course. Well, part of learning about yourself is to actually see what's happening in your internal dialogue and what happens with inside of yourself when it comes down to actually feeling confident in certain situations. So, what exactly are you telling yourself? What's holding you back from feeling confident? And obviously, one of the main things that we've discussed many times is that the fact that we look for approval and we look for acceptance outside ourselves, and that's part of learning about yourself, that they have to be self-validated in order to be able to not look for it outside externally, and that automatically brings out your confidence because you're not seeking anything.
Right, and I think you're talking about a little bit about values in regards to why you're doing things. So it's getting to know yourself in regards not only of your insecurities, your limiting beliefs, but also your values. Why are you doing certain things? And realizing that a lot of it, again, has to do with trying to get something, feeling maybe some scarcity and different things like that. And again, determining your values. So that is the very first thing. And as we go through this video, on the next point, one of the things that we want to talk about is once you do get to know yourself a little bit deeper and figure out what some of those things that are limiting you and are, I would say, driving your life in such a way that it's not what you want, then you want to actually begin to shift that into a different story. And so can you talk a little bit about changing your story from your point of view, Angela, and how you've
Well,
done it?
well, one of the things that I forgot to mention on the last part, on the
Sure.
last point, is that actually trying to get something for yourself or trying to get something in general, you have to be in your mind. You have to be worth of having it. So that automatically makes you very either confident or not confident if you get it or not. So it's a big point because now you have to be worth of it in order for you to get it. And when you get it, you feel worth of it. So now you feel confident. But that's just an illusion of the mind. So about changing your story, it's more about what's, like I said, what's the dialogue in your head? What's happening when you're talking to yourself when you are in that situation? Are you telling yourself you're worth of it? Are you telling yourself you're shy? Are you telling yourself you're not valuable enough to be in that environment? What are you trying to accomplish within the social world and the dating world? As far as to get there, you have to backtrack all of the dialogue that you're having with yourself in order to change your story to the opposite of what you're saying right now that it's not working for you.
Yeah, yeah, and really, I mean, going back into The point about you being not worthy. One of the things I had a chat today actually. Many times we don't even give ourselves permission to know what we want in life, whether that's a specific type of partner or whether that's a specific type of I don't know, career, lifestyle, and different things, because we are afraid of the reason why, which is that we're not worthy of it. And so, as you begin to dig deeper, you begin to realize where a lot of the resistance comes in whenever you have a hard time getting out of the house, when you have a hard time going to that event that you should go and network to, when you have a hard time perhaps going to that interview for that job, or simply going out and dating again if it's something that you're looking to do. So, but in regards now, moving on to the second point, which is changing your story, it's as simple as that. You're basically shifting from your old beliefs, your old value systems, and moving it into the opposite of that. And you can do that by writing it down and then shifting it. So moving on real quickly onto the next point, it is detachment and detachment to outcome. And I know this is something that you're completely unpassionate about, right, Angelo?
Completely. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
To be honest, I think we all are attached to the outcome, and that brings a lot of pain and a lot of suffering to our elusive selves. And just being attached to something, you put so much value in it in order to get it. You actually put so much value in getting it that when it doesn't happen, it just automatically destroys you. So I guess my point of being detached from outcome is just living life and doing things for the sake of doing, and just coming out there and being yourself and just enjoying life, just having a good time wherever you go, talking to people without any expectations of what it's going to happen or what should happen. That automatically works out itself to who you are. So if you start searching for something or attached to getting something, and in this case, a lot of guys like myself and like yourself, a while back, we were attached to getting sex, to meeting the nice girl, to going out there and getting that value, to actually the most important one, to look good. We go out there to to get the value of looking good, and that's such a big attachment that when people ignore you or when people have a different reaction than what you're actually trying to accomplish, then you feel terrible. So
right.
part of being detached from an outcome is just to go out there and live and let live.
Yeah,
So it's just sharing that energy with everybody. It's a carefree energy that it's like going back to being a kid. You just
yeah.
go out there, mingle with people, banter, you have a drink, you do whatever it is, and you have fun with it. And everything else works itself out automatically.
Right, exactly. And even as you begin to go on this journey and you begin to create more confidence for yourself, again, as you mentioned, one of the easiest way to shatter that confidence and that self-esteem and the progress that you've made is when you get too excited about it. And it's like, holy shit, this just happened. And how do I make it happen again? And so that very thought of attachment of how do I make it happen again is telling the universe, is telling your mind that it doesn't usually happen, and also that it's not happening right now because you have to make it happen again when you begin to try to solve the problem, the how, the
Well,
steps.
well, you have to feel that is natural, right? It has to be natural. So
Yeah,
when somebody does it naturally, do they try to get it? No. Do they try to get it back again? The same thing? No. It just flows. It just
mhm,
naturally comes along the way. So they don't stay lingering on the conquest that they had, or celebrating the what they have achieved. That automatically tells you that you usually don't get it.
right.
If you over celebrate something, it tells your brain that it's rare for you to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the other things I wanted to mention to detachment to outcome, not to you know, keep going on this too much, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to be going after your goals or working towards a specific goal. It just means that you begin to put the value into the process and into the journey rather than the results, as well as realizing that one of the main reasons, or if not the main reason, why you are attached to the outcome is because you're attaching your own self-worth and your value onto a specific result. And that's how your mind works, whether it's having more money in your bank account, or sex, a relationship, marriage, a specific type of job. Again, those are the reasons why you get scared when you might not get it, because of the fact of what it would mean about you. Does it mean you're a failure? Does it mean you're inadequate? Does it mean you're unattractive? It's the value that you put behind those results. So now moving on to body language. What is up with body language, Angelo?
Oh, let me check this out. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think body language, it actually communicates also a message to your brain. Uh, Whatever your body is telling your brain, it is a message that you convey, and that's why you believe that you're feeling. If you're like shrinking down, it might be telling your brain you're tired, you're depressed, or you're just diminished. But when somebody stands with a posture straight, takes space wherever they go, automatically tells their brain that you're confident, that you're powerful. So wherever you go, your body language also communicates that message. I know we talked a little bit about how automatically that energy that you build up your story, it portrays your body language, and how important it is, the energy more than the body language. But sometimes, most of the times, a lot of people walk in the street and you see them shrinking down, and that automatically is telling your brain a message. It's telling your
Mhm.
brain how you're feeling, or how you should be feeling, because of what your body's telling it. So
Yeah.
it is very important to take control also about your body language, of noticing it, of just noticing what the message is conveying to your brain, in order to build up your confidence. Because at the end of the day, when you're in a social world, that's also the message you're telling everybody else, the way you
Yeah.
carry your body.
Yeah, and it's so true what you're saying in regards to what it communicates and how it changes your mood, how it changes your mindset and everything, as well as the idea of you can actually incorporate also your body language, a powerful body language, and anchor it onto your affirmations or your news story to make it more powerful and get excited about it, and really empower your story, your affirmations with a lot more emotions when you back it up with powerful body language. And again, if you're going into a job interview, or if you're going into a date, adopting some of this body language before you even show up, visualizing and having this kind of great routine can really empower you before you even show up. So that's that. The next thing I want to talk about is living outside your comfort zone and taking massive action. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, living outside your comfort zone, it's always been the point of actually growing, of actually seeing how potential you are, of acquiring things that you never believed that you could have.
Hmm.
So just living outside your comfort zone. I know I'll share a little bit about a story that I had. Is the fact that when I was younger, I was very shy,
Hmm.
and obviously, like we all had that issue, and that automatically limited me from so many opportunities, not only dating but also professionally. I wouldn't come up and talk in front of people. I wouldn't come out and express myself, and I didn't want a job or a profession or anything that had to be around that. So that automatically limits my potential. When I came out of that, I saw a whole new different world. When you go over certain comfort zones, you realize that you can be anything you want, and you realize what you want to do and what you want to be, because there's no more limitations to your subconscious of yeah, I'm not going to do that because hey, that's not me, that's not what I do.
Yeah.
So living outside your comfort zone will make you grow, but not only that, it will help you get to know yourself better, to see the potentials into what you really want to be, and who you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, you sharing that story kind of brings up another story that I'm still kind of a little bit, to be honest, a little bit ashamed of, in regards to there was a professor that I really admired actually in my university, and unfortunately, he's probably the best professor I've ever had in my life, and unfortunately he passed away maybe a semester after I was in his class. And it's incredible because they asked me to do some kind of a speech about him, and I accepted. But the very day I couldn't, you know, to my shame, I couldn't bring myself to go and do that presentation, and it was out of sheer shyness. And for anybody that's listening to this or watching this, I would hate for you to miss out on some incredible things that you can not only live as far as life, but that you can contribute, uh, and share yourself, because of your shyness, because of your self-esteem, or because it's not something that you're used to. So I completely encourage you to begin to not only shift your mindset, but begin taking steps on a consistent basis, simple steps, such as talking to new people every single day, such as, I don't know, maybe public speaking, whatever skill you're trying to master. Begin taking steps towards that, so that when you are encountered with an incredible opportunity, either to impact someone or to simply live an incredible life, it doesn't pass you by. And so, yeah, I would say that about taking action and living outside your comfort zone. And speaking of impact and contribution, um, focusing on giving. I think we've talked a lot about that in these lives. So, what do you have to say about that, Angelo?
Well, actually, well, that's a big thing because just giving to people brings up your it boosts up your confidence because now you're doing it for somebody else. It brings more courage and more value and more confidence to yourself just by doing something for someone else. It changes the whole perspective of why you're doing things. And if you ever, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this where you've done things for somebody else that you wouldn't do for yourself because the reason has changed. You've gone out of your comfort zone and it feels okay because it's for somebody else.
Hmm.
I mean, how many times have
It's
I
like
introduced?
it's like getting permission, right?
It's exactly. It's like, yeah, I'm not getting anything. I don't want anything for myself. I'm doing this for this person's sake, and it automatically gives you so much power of confidence. It's incredible. Automatically just flips everything around because now you're not looking for anything, so you're not seeking anything externally. It's more of a helping somebody else, and just that in a sense also gives you a whole feeling of abundance just doing it for somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, some of the people that I've talked to, including Adan, who interviewed previously, he mentions how his anxiety has gone down as he's focused more on giving, as well as some of the stuff that I've talked to other clients about in regards to their empowerment and going further in their journey. If they begin to see a lot of these things that they're doing to be empowered, on how the impact they will have once they and step into their own power, for other people. And so, yeah, completely agree. I think other than that, I mean, it's basically getting to know all the things that you're going to be doing on your journey, whatever that journey is going to be, or your habits, and shifting that reason why you're doing those things into contribution and into giving. Now, the next tip is creating a positive environment. And what do you think about that, Angelo?
Well, I think it's a matter of getting rid of a lot of negativity that happens around you, including people. I
Mhm.
mean, you get contagious by what people talk about, what you talk about, including what you watch on the media. Everything has an effect on you. I don't know if you ever seen a person that watches too much news. They're so negative. People who watch too much soap operas, they're so dramatic. Everything has an effect on you. So it's part of what you want to be and who you want to be in this life that actually you have to line up with the people and the environment that supports that rather than the environment that's going to hold you back and make you struggle. I know that we all believe, and I think a lot of people believe, I don't anymore, that when we want something, we have to work hard for it. But in reality, it doesn't have to be that way. It's just a matter of lining up with the right mentality, knowing who you are, and everything just starts lining up for yourself. And obviously, that environment of being positive, of being supportive to what you want to be, that's very important in this case. And You don't want people telling you negative stuff, or creating so much negativity within yourself, because then you go back to all the negative beliefs you had, all the limiting beliefs you had. I mean, in reality, I went to this seminar a while back, and maybe it has a little bit to do with this, but it was on how to create money. It was a real estate investor, and he said, so when you're trying to create or build abundance of money, who do you ask for an advice? And usually people turn around and ask their best buddies who are the next to them, who are in a worse situation. I mean, you go out there trying to build up your social life and your dating life, and who do you ask advice? Your dad, who's been married for how many years and had and never really dated. It was the first woman that he met. He married your mom. So I think it's very important that the environment that you're surrounded with, it's the one that's going to support what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and I think to kind of finish this point quickly, I would say the only other thing I would mention, I mean, you're very spot on, by the way. The only other thing I would mention is, surround yourself with positive people, mentors, coaches, positive books. Limit, time with, negative family members and that kind of stuff, as well as when you are taking action. Only take criticism from those people that are, playing big. And I don't mean big in terms of, going for millions of dollars or going for whatever it is. I'm talking about that are playing big outside their comfort zone. They're the only ones that can really, really give you any kind of constructive criticism, because they can relate to you emotionally, and they are actually doing it themselves.
I was gonna say that people who are in the same boat or have walked your shoes, or the path that you're walking, are people who are gonna give you a criticism that is gonna help you. They're not gonna judge you for it. Most people that are right next to you are the ones that judge you, hold you back, because they envy you. A lot of people envy other people for them reaching bigger goals. I mean, in our culture, in our society, in every way, if they see you succeed, they just envy you and they angry at you because they can't do it themselves, or they want to be there but they're not willing to do the work either. So people who already walked the path, they're more than willing to help you, and they're more than willing to give you criticism that is going to be constructive. They're going to probably be like, yeah, you've done that wrong, or you've done that bad, or whatever, but you could do this.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to the next point, which is being grateful. And so, in regards to that, how do you incorporate it into your own life and embody that?
But the thing is that you have to keep really a vision of what you have around you, of what you have already accomplished, of your surrounding that you already live in, and be grateful for it, because we tend to forget all the surrounding that is actually supporting us. I mean, our family, our friends, our what we have. We're becoming a society, or a society in a sense has become very ungrateful for what they have. They just want to purchase the next car. They just want to move on to the next thing, and trying to chase happiness that they already have. They already have that within themselves. We have everything that we need, and we're so ungrateful for it that we're never happy. So gratefulness brings so much happiness to ourselves, just being grateful for what we have, and so much peace that also brings our confidence level up. And that's shown when you come out and interact with people, and you're out there, and it's a different way of an energy that you project when you're grateful for what you got. People are just they just feel that you're passionate about what you have and what you have accomplished,
And you
and
draw
you're not.
more into in terms of more of what you want. You bring it in. I'm sure you guys have heard of it as well. But in addition, I mean, there's so many in addition to other routines. So definitely do your gratefulness. It's a way to ground yourself every day, and not come from a scarcity standpoint when you're interacting with people and when you're going after your goals. So the final tip is exercise. So in regards to this, for me, I would say the biggest thing is really, just for energy for me. I love kind of getting up in the morning and doing my routine and doing a little bit of exercise, maybe 3 4 days a week, and it creates a lot more energy for me, a lot more positivity, relieves some stress, That's kind of how it works for me. Definitely, there's some self-image that helps, but other than that, is the energy and the way it makes me feel. What's your experience in terms of exercise with building confidence?
Well, it's pretty much what you just said. It's a way that makes you feel good about yourself. It builds up your energy that portrays through all of your daily life. It's uh, it's a way of bringing up your confidence. I mean, also it helps a lot with the body language because exercising also helps with your body posture and at the same time makes you feel good, which is exactly what you need to actually build up your confidence to feel good. And that just carries on through your day. So it's very important to actually exercise, do any physical activity, whatever it is, even if any sports that it is, it helps you with your energy levels.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's absolutely true. Now, so those are the 9 points to really get you to another level of self confidence. Yeah, there you go. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is this is kind of an intro to the course that we're releasing pretty soon. In fact, we've been talking about this boot camp for a while, and we are pushing a little bit back to June. We're actually starting the boot camp in the first week of June, and so I'm going to put a link for the group if you want to join it. We're going to be doing it. I'm in Croatia right now. Angela's in Spain. So I'm going to be flying over to Spain, hanging out with them for a while, doing our thing and doing the live boot camp from there. So if you want to join it, just, type in yes below. And I'm also going to be typing in the link to the group so you can join it and we'll send you the information. Any questions that you have on these 9 points, let us know down below. And if you know of anyone that can benefit from these points, share it, like it, and help spread the word. All right. Anything
See you
else, Andrew?
soon. No, I'll just see you soon on the course. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys soon and take care. Thank you.